Dermot's coming on board with us today. And Dermot Sinnott, in case you don't know, is the CEO and co-founder of Destination Golf Travel, to be designed to showcase golf travel destination and regions around the world. And one of the things that Roxanne spoke to me about is obviously having Dermot on board, because everyone thinks Cape Town is the golfing mecca of South Africa. And I'm going to correct all of you guys who deal with swallows and say Johannesburg is the golfing mecca of South Africa. And Dermot is going to sort of break into that and just discuss why the country as a whole is actually, is a golfing mecca. If only we sort of knew how to take control of that and actually try and, increase usage, throughout Gauteng, throughout KZN, and throughout Cape Town. So, Dermot, I'm leaving it up to you.
Cool.
I think you're going to share some of the screens with us and just go through some of the detail here. So
absolutely.
Welcome,
cool.
Dermot.
Well, firstly, it's a pleasure to be here today. Thank you for the opportunity to present. Thanks to Roxanne from the Club Manager Association, to Robbie as well, and also John Cocaine from BGM as well, who was an instigator in getting me to present today. I probably should start with a bit of an apology, because the intro that went out said that I am based in South Africa, which I'm not. It said I'm ex-pro golfer, which I'm not, and said I'm an ex-tour operator, which I'm not either. All of those credits do go to my wingman, John Cocaine. So I'm probably better off taking it from the top and explaining who I am and why I'm here today. I'll bore you for about 10 or 15 minutes on stats, and tell you a little bit about my company, what we can show, what we can offer, and give you some stats of what's happening in the golf travel industry on a global scale. I'll probably start by kind of saying, in case you haven't twigged my accent, that I am Irish. When I'm not at 36,000 feet, you'll find me in Ireland. But yeah, I do. I'm very lucky to work in the golf tourism industry. It's a fantastic industry to be in, and it's very niche as well. And I've been speaking with John over the years. We've had a few kind of collaborations. And now that the world is reopening, I will start a little bit of a presentation, give you some stats on what's happening, and see, without further ado, if I can share a screen. Hopefully my presentation will work. I'm hoping everybody can see that. Is that possible? Can you see my presentation?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I might try and go large screen as well. Even better. So about me, so I'll just keep on going, and I take questions at the end maybe. I'll bore you for about 10 minutes of stats. It's fairly loaded with stats, so bear with me. And I see it's been recorded, so my presentation can be shared after if you want. But yeah, I'm the CEO, founder of Destination Golf Media. It's a company 13 years on the go. I am a director of global partnerships for the World Golf Awards, the World Travel Awards, top 100 panelists for Golfscape, and improved golf journalist for IAGTO, Golf Travel Writers, EGTMA, ITM, GBDA, International Golf Association, and I've been in the media industry for 25 years. I'm hoping is that still working where I go on? Yeah. Okay, cool. I'll keep going. Travel trends is kind of the theme that I was using for this presentation. There's probably about 12 slides in total, so I'll whiz through them because so I don't want to take up all of your meeting time. But I kind of broke it down into a little bit about destination golf, talk a bit about the global golf stats, a bit about kind of stats I found on golf in South Africa, which might be interesting. Kind of travel trends, growth markets, a few case studies, and kind of final thoughts. So I'll just keep on going if that's okay with everybody. Destination Golf is, we've won Europe's Best Golf Travel Magazine by the prestigious Lux Awards. We've won World's Best Travel Magazine by the World Golf Awards the last 3 years. And last year we were, I'm sure everybody knows about IAGTO, we were delighted to win Outstanding Service Award. Our main USPs, and I'll just touch on these quickly because it's not about, this presentation isn't about, it isn't a Dermot show. But what we do offer is we have a kind of niche and targeted audience. So what's very important is that the people following Destination Golf, they're not following us to learn about the latest golf ball, golf equipment, pro tips, tour news. They're following us to learn about golf travel, destinations, where to go, why to go there. And we're strong through our ambassadors and through our partnerships and all the different channels that we have produced. One of our key partnerships is obviously IAGTO. Everybody knows IAGTO. They don't need any introduction. But a lot of people probably don't realize is there's a European Travel Agents Association. They represent 70,000 tour operators and travel agents in Europe, and we're their official media partner, which gives us very good access to the leisure market as well. We produce country guides once a year for any of the inbound destinations we're promoting. Why? Because the average age of a golfer is 62, so they still want something physical to use and feel, a tangible product that they can use as a reference point. Digital magazine, 160,000 online readers. Social media, 65,000 social. I have 4 staff just on social media alone, which is very effective for us. You'll see on Twitter alone last year with 1.8 million views. We specialize in purely golf travel magazines. We wouldn't, or golf travel guides. We have 26 multilingual websites, which all these flags actually represent all our websites. We have a German website, Norwegian website, all of these things. 21 ambassadors. We reach 500,000 traveling golfers with our partnerships. Ranked #1 by Google, World Golf Awards, and we use a lot of presenters as well. That's a little bit about a quick summary about Destination Golf. You'll easily find us as a follow-up. Moving on to the good stuff. The stats that I have found. 23 million golfers globally. Of that, in Africa, 932 courses. But the strong markets that you'll see will be Europe and USA. You'll see the amount of golf courses there is extremely large. Don't know if you know this or not, but I'll just run through it. And if you manage to pick anything out of this, then superb. Stats. There's 209 golfing countries. Top 20% of countries account for 89% of all global supply. 101 countries have active golf projects, and 64% of those new projects are tied to resort developments, which is very interesting because you are finding a lot of kind of hotel and golf seem to marry well in all the kind of new developments that's going on. 30% of the projects are in Asia. You all know about the boom out there. If you talk about the top 20 golfing countries, I don't know if you've seen this or not before, but it is from the RNA. The top kind of key markets, and the reason I say this is because these are kind of key markets should you look to, promote. You have USA, the amount of courses are on the left side. You have United States, Japan, Canada, England. So, but 78% of the world supply of courses are located in 10 golfing countries. United States, Japan, Canada, England, Germany, they're all listed there. Obviously, you're talking about the top 10 golfing countries being key markets, especially if they look after 78% of the golfing market. For looking at Africa, you're talking about, and again, maybe you've seen this before, but I'll just include it in my presentation. If you get anything, that's superb. 52% of all of Africa's courses are located in South Africa. 48% of all current markets courses being built, Nigeria, Kenya, and Egypt. And you have 2% of the world's golf courses and 10% of new golf projects that are going on. So, it is a good market, and it has its own uniqueness as well, which I shall go through. I'm going to turn that light. Travel trends, key growth markets. It's very wordy, and I apologize for that, but the main kind of points are, I've pulled this information from IAGTO survey. They've been pulling surveys since 2015, and the data comes from their tour operator partners, from their members really, which are golf tour operators, resorts, hotels. And I believe it's a good indication of global trends because they get over 1,000 replies on each of the surveys that they send out. So the key findings that I found in relation to golf courses, resorts, they're talking about arrivals. On average, arrivals are going up 4.6%, which is a positive trend, especially by companies that are on the front line of the golf tourism industry. Worldwide golf tour operator sales grew 9.2%, which is significantly higher than it was forecasted. And the impact of COVID, the epidemic had kind of strains. Although the domestic kind of markets did thrive based on the method of kind of the boom and kind of memberships and golf participation on a golf course, the tourism took a bit of a hit. There's no surprise there. The countries outside Europe particularly did kind of take a hard hit. But a lesson that is worth remembering is, based on the 2 previous decades, is that golf tourism is known, and I love this phrase, it's known for its bounce back ability. And I robbed that off Peter Walton, but I'm going to keep it. So golf tourism is known for it's how it can bounce back quicker than most other sectors of the tourism industry. So, you know, from a media perspective, we're always kind of saying that, know that the market is coming back. There is a need to invest and continue investment and keeping the name out there. Tour operator bookings are only one kind of channel. Obviously, direct bookings is a massive way for golfers and golfers to book holidays now, really. Some of the examples here in Scotland, 85% of all bookings in Scotland are done direct. Another example is in the Algarve. I probably shouldn't say the resort, but they have a strong reservation team of 5. And they used to have 4 people dealing with tour operator bookings and 1 with direct bookings. And that's now completely flipped, where 4 look after direct bookings and 1 looks after tour operator business. Of course, there's still a demand in place for tour operators, of course. But there is, you know, just to highlight, there is 2 different ways that people are booking their golf. It is the power of the internet, you know, and the power of the fact that people have a lot of real-time booking systems in place as well. The perception is the best deal is by going direct to the golf course in a lot of cases. Talk about growth. Look, as you look around, kind of do a quick summary of what's happening around the world. And again, I apologize for the stats, but I am a stato. Marketing is my background, so I'll always bore you with stats. But I do think, you know, stats are important in this kind of in these days. Europe in general, 1.2% up. Egypt has a bit of resurgence. Tunisia, Morocco, also an increase there. South Africa, I see, which is good to see, is 5.4% up. Thailand took a bit of a hit because of the currency, the stronger currency. Vietnam obviously was the booming place, and it is, as you see, of golf courses that are being built, Vietnam is still very strong. And they've kind of more sustainable growth now, 7.2. New Zealand does very well. A lot of Australians in particular head towards New Zealand, and a lot of kind of Asia market as well. They've been very good on their destination promotions. The main kind of core markets of England, USA, Italy, Northern Ireland, they've all good projections. And Scotland and Ireland are continuing about 4% up as well. So there's some kind of a little kind of quick summary of what's happening in the world, and there's a lot of kind of, as you look, it's nice to see the arrows going up, and we all know that, you know, we're quite very hopeful for 23, 24 for South Africa as well. But I'm jumping ahead of myself. I'll continue on. Information about how people, there was a stat put out there, and this is by Sports Marketing Surveys. It's not my information, but it was released in Marrakesh at IGTM. And the question was posed to how people find information when researching a golf holiday. You see golf magazines still have a massive place. Again, that comes back to what I was saying about the demographic of a golfer. When they're age 62, they want something to use and feel. And between magazines and websites, they're really covering a huge portion of the marketplace as well. Hence, I purchased 26 domain names, and I'll never forget the day that I was purchasing 26 domains, thinking, what am I doing? But now it's proven to be the right move, and to be multilingual is important as well. If we look at kind of case studies, we have many examples, but I've just chosen 3 of what's happening in destinations, how they're working closer as a group. And it was actually interesting to just listen in to everybody on what's happening. And there's clearly a strong group and bond and friendships there as well, from a kind of management perspective. But what's happening from a marketing perspective in a few different regions of the case studies that I pulled together, The ones I picked out was Barcelona, Madrid, and France. In Barcelona, 6 golf courses came together, and they were promoting it more as obviously Barcelona is one of the biggest city destinations in the world. They formed a new kind of product, Barcelona Golf Destination, put a new website together, a new golf pass together, and they traveled to shows as one brand to reduce costs, and that has been highly successful to all of them. In Madrid is absolutely, always has been a city destination. It was never seen as a place to go golfing. Mice would have been massive there, and city, the leisure market. But now the tourist board has created a golf in Greater Madrid, and what they're doing is, as people travel around their UNESCO World Heritage sites, they want people to go out, play golf, and enjoy the region. So golf is a new group formed of golf courses and the different kind of attractions in Madrid. Same with France. The French Golf Federation put together a new brand, a new website, which is called Play Golf in France. Again, what they want to try and do is, it's more than just going to the Algarve or Costa del Sol or wherever it is for a game of golf. They want to combine wine tasting, gastronomy, cooking, and the cultural visits as well. And the reason I'm saying this is because I think this is something that is prevalent to South Africa. My kind of final thoughts coming in on my 10 minutes is obviously the time to promote is now, but why? If we talk about South Africa and your USPs, I believe, and everybody knows, it's a very cost-effective destination. It's very well connected, especially to Europe. No time zone, no jet lag. English is your official language, and it's a world in one country. You include your game, beaches, tours, and both John Cocaine and myself firmly believe that it's an ideal family destination as well, somewhere where golfers bring their kids for a longer kind of stay. The collective effort is important, rather than having 1 or 2 courses trying to fly the flag. The more courses that can come together to promote as one unit would be more beneficial. Golf is niche. There's great wealth from attracting a traveling golfer rather than a domestic golfer. And 23, 24 are going to be key markets for South Africa. You can already see that the arrows are pointing up. Tourists are starting to come back, and with the right kind of promotions, you can really capture your fair share of the market share, your piece of the pie, as we might say. So it is important now to start kind of looking at ways to invest in promotions, be it with us or any other ways, to get the name out there, get the destination out there, and make sure that when people are considering their next golf holiday, that South Africa is a destination that is being considered. And my final slide is to leave the words from my good friend Peter from IAGTO, which is Peter's saying, be prepared to invest money in promoting golf travel as soon as confidence returns to the market. And it is clear that the confidence it has returned or is returning. And we believe that 2023 will be a pivotal year for attracting tourists back into South Africa. Contacts, I'm always available, director of destinationgolf.travel. You can find our websites there. But my wingman and my ambassador down in Southern Africa is John Cocaine as well. And that is the end of me. If you have any questions, by all means, feel free to throw it at me. But I'm kind of in on time, and you have other agendas to talk about rather than marketing and destinations. But I just wanted to use this opportunity to share some of those stats, let you know the feel good from what's going on with the travel trends at the moment, and something to maybe consider for when you are looking at your promotions. So that is me.
So Dermot, if I was going to ask a question, what are we not doing in South Africa to promote more golf as a destination and a vacation? Place. What are we not doing enough of, in your opinion?
Visibility is one thing. I travel to golf shows all over the world, and I rarely see any promotions for South Africa as a destination. I might see a few individual golf courses, and always look forward to meeting them. But I don't feel there's enough strength as a collective unit coming out of South Africa, which is a shame, because although I say I have never resided in South Africa, I have managed the honeymoon for 3 weeks. It was, from PE across to Cape Town and all the courses in between. So I have got a feel for what's on offer there, and I do feel that you are probably missing out on the fact that there's not enough promotions out there. It's kind of reliant on a smaller number of golf courses.
So is that, and I mean, we've got plenty of managers on board, and I see Collies is also on board here from the union. Is this a Golf RSA issue, or is this a union issue? Who do we think should be taking responsibility for this? I think Dermot's made quite a good point about visibility. As you all know, I lived 13 years in the Algarve, and I mean, everywhere you looked, it was the Costa del Sol and it was the Algarve as a golfing destination. You couldn't get away from seeing it everywhere. And Dermot, actually, now he says it, is probably quite right. What's anyone's opinion? Is this a Golf RSA issue or a union issue? What do we think?
Yeah, I think, Robbie, it's self-promotion. The clubs have got to also get involved. I don't think we should be just relying on the unions. I mean, the idea that they've done in Barcelona, where they've got the 6 courses that have come together as a brand. I mean, you could do that in Johannesburg. You could do it on the KZN coast, the Cape, and obviously share the costs. I think it's a great opportunity.
What they did there, just so you know, in Barcelona, is that the golf courses came together and they all put a pot of budget together, and then the tourist board gave a little contribution towards that as well to help them on their way. For all the kind of marketing costs, travel costs and things as well. But they absolutely started as a little cluster of golf courses. Yeah. So
Liesl and Jeff, is that something that you guys do down in the Cape, or is it just sort of you're renowned down there as a golfing, destination?
I'm going to ask Jeff to answer. I lost connectivity and came back on just a short moment ago.
Is it?
Is he up?
He's here, but he's muted, so he might not be on there. Anybody else in the Cape who can maybe fill in on that one? Or anyone that used to work in the Cape? No. Gavin, are you going to say something? Gavin? No.
What about all the chambers? I mean, I'm hosting a chambers golf day, and there are about 10 chambers that are participating. Don't they also advertise in their countries?
I would think, yeah. I mean, Dermot, I mean, Roxy made a good point there as well. I mean, it's something I guess that we could all put together. There used to be a company, Gabby, you might remember, Darren, I think it's still, you've got a notice board outside the entrance of your club about an association you dealt with some time ago. It was promoting
a local association, Robbie.
Yeah, local, yeah.
But maybe it's worth looking at, like, I mean, I'm just throwing out a name, like SA Golfing, and working closer with those guys who have the contacts. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think like Pearl Valley and Fan Court spend a lot of time and effort, I would guess, promoting golf internationally.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Dermot, quick question. What would be the biggest trade shows where you think, us as a country can go and promote golf?
The two that kind of stand out, really, that there's so many different shows, and based on most countries would have their own kind of golf shows that would be important. So you'd have, like in Germany, Rheingolf will be a massive show there. A lot of exhibitions at events like the Swedish Masters will get a lot of. So it depends on the country you're targeting. But as an overall, IGTM would be very well known, which is it's owned by Reed Exhibitions. It's on in 2 weeks' time over in Rome. Outside that, the World Travel Market in London would be a huge opportunity. Again, Reed happened to own that as well. If you were that they'd be kind of focusing in heavily in on the European market, which based on the stats would be a kind of good key market to target. So yeah, things like that, we can kind of absolutely help out with lists of different shows that we would recommend. But initially, I would say IGTM and World Travel Market.
World Travel Market
in London. Yeah.
Awesome.
I see John Bold just put all bodies, should be involved: SA Tourism, stakeholders, Golf RSA, Golf and Wine, for example, etc. Collectively get together, offer package across the country. Marriott Helmbold, I think, is ex-CEO of SA Tourism, was at one of our fan call meetings. I believe she is involved in this. So yeah, there is potential there, I guess, of getting everybody together. Yeah.
I know that I had when I was at World Travel Market in London, I did meet with a representative from SA Tourism, but unfortunately there was no golf promotions at that. That was just, for me, that was something, and that was a few years back. But for me, that seems like an opportunity rather than anything else. Yeah. And
I guess with the rand, dollar, rand, pound at the moment, cheapest. It's peanuts to come out here, and it's absolute peanuts.
Yeah. There's so many USPs, and it's between between that and the travel element and the no jet lag. That's massive. So it's and to be honest, you're finding more competitors. All this city break destinations are now coming up with products because there's such a huge thirst for travel. It's post-pandemic thirst.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi, Dermot. Hi, it's Jeff Close speaking.
Hello, Jeff.
Nice to see you again, Dermot. Sorry, I lost connection.
Okay.
And so I missed the talk about IGTM. I could have gone. I was actually invited by tourism to participate in the stand, which I found effective in Cannes and Ljubljana. And quite frankly, working together with other members, it was just too late for me to actually line up the bookings. And quite frankly, as just a stand participant, I was in for about 80,000 on the free invite. And we're pretty absorbed in a tournament coming up next month, which we've committed to. But I highly recommend that effort, and we could do a much better job if more people were able to go. We could divide the costs even more. So I felt that IGTM was the best one. In my fan court days, I went to the show in Berlin. But there's no doubt in my mind that we're not getting the value, we're not getting the reach as a country that we need to when you compare it to the growth of Egypt or the growth of Tunisia or the growth of Asia. Those are massive efforts. And if you took the 28 people that are on board here today and we all just pitched a little, I'm happy to go sit in the stand and talk about South Africa and hand out a brochure for 10 different places or whatever. But to just go on my own and represent myself, it was a big ask.
That's a good point. And I see John Bold used to say the late Gary Gold used to drive this a lot for our, Golf RSA, I presume. So I guess there is space still to look at this. We'll have a chat with Grant and see what he says and gets up to in the meantime. And John Bold has just said he agrees fully with Jeff. It's actually quite a nice idea.
Robbie, is there not a good opportunity now after this COVID where we formed this relationship with the sports minister in getting golf back up and running? I'm not sure who held those relationships, whether it was PGA, CMASA or Golf RSA. But is there not an option to channel it through them and maybe get golf also recognized as an industry within South Africa?
So I think, if I remember correctly, and I stand to be corrected, during COVID, Grant obviously spent huge amounts of time with the Minister of Sport at that particular time. What their relationship was like, I'm not so sure. But again, Grant spent a huge amount of time trying to get the Minister of Sport to recognize what golf was as a sport and as an environment, if you will. I'll have a chat with Grant and just see what he thinks. But what Jeff has just said, I agree 100% with that as well. I think it's a whole effort to be put together. I know it's a big country, but I think our community is so close together that I think actually something could be done. as I said, when I lived in Portugal and I see what was done there by, the Minister of Tourism, government, the Algarve area, you couldn't do anything without seeing Portugal golf. And, in the Algarve, when I was there were only 25 courses or 26 courses. But in the winter, the English winter and the Portuguese winter, of course, you still get 25 degrees every day. The place pumped.
There's another thing they do as well. They use the professional golf tournaments that they have. They promote the hell out of them everywhere. Yeah. And you obviously have huge events coming to you, but the tourist boards promote those events as come watch the pros play and stay and have your holiday in around it. And it's maybe, I believe, a great opportunity for you guys as well, that you have amazing events and get the players there, seeing the pros and staying there, but getting the full experience. So I do believe that there's so many different amazing USPs that you have readily available here.
Jeff, the tournament you've just had, was SA tourism plastered all over the place or not really? I saw a couple of placards with it on, but I mean, were they really involved or not really so much?
This past tournament was Vodacom Origins of Golf, so it was a Vodacom-driven event with some limited television that came with it. The PGA coming up in November is the primary sponsor, the big sponsor, and it is Eastern Cape Tourism. So there's a tremendous opportunity to seize the moment, so to speak, and really promote this region. And I guess if I expanded on what I said before, even if we approached the IACTOs of the world by regions, and we sat next to each other at a conference, I mean, there's nothing wrong with Western Province supporting Western Province and Gauteng. I mean, look what Limpopo does. They really outpunch their flipping weight when it comes to golf tourism. But this particular event was not really a tourism-based thing, but now we're going for the PGA, which has a real impact on our region, and we're going to do the best we can to get a lot of people here.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's a good point.
There's one other opportunity as well that I haven't flagged, which is the World Golf Awards themselves, because they're always looking for kind of partners. And from a visibility point of view, they get 1.2 million hits on their website per year. So there could be good opportunities there if you were kind of looking at a global scale of kind of destination promotion. You're talking about getting maybe a logo that is one brand, and in behind that you have the different kind of resorts or golf courses, in underneath that brand, pushing it together. The visibility is easy.
Yeah.
I just want to do it myself. Can I jump in here quick?
Yeah, Andy, go.
I think he was just unmuted by mistake there. When you have tourists coming to South Africa, for example, are they looking for a full in package, not just golf? So looking to go to the bush, to the beach. I mean, us as a golf union, we're happy to help out, but I'm not sure if we quite hitting what the needs of the people are. If you're saying it's a family thing, do they not want to have a bush thing involved and the full package? Just a question.
I'll jump in. It's probably more an answer for John Cocaine, who's there on site. I know that John has created Pacific Golf Tours as well, but to have those options, there's not one kind of family or traveling golf community or traveling golf group. They'll all want different options and different. They'll all have different demands for what they want. But I do believe that an area of growth would be the family golf holiday, and I do believe that they will want the full experience of everything. For sure.
Andy, is that all right?
Yeah, thanks. Because I think it was easy golf for someone like that. Leon Plutzig, that was back in the day. There wasn't that you were speaking about. They used to have those tailor-made packages to bring golfers in and also take them away. And I don't know of anyone currently who's kind of doing that. Maybe I'm just misinformed.
Yeah, I agree. I haven't heard of anything up this end, I must be honest. I must be honest with you.
Yeah, and again, that's probably something for John Cocaine. I know he was hoping to jump in on this, but I'm not sure if he has managed to jump in. He said he might have communication issues, but certainly it's something that John himself has created these different tours, Gary Player tours and Nicholas tours and things, and has partnered up with a travel agent as well to try and deal with all the kind of bookings, because it's something we don't do as a media company. Our job is to be that kind of shop window and to be like a signpost, kind of saying where to go and why to go there. And the bookings would go directly to the resorts and golf courses or to a tour operator partner as well. But yeah, that's probably something that for John to follow up with, because he's actively creating these kind of products for people to buy. Yeah.
All right, Dermot, thanks so much, man. Really appreciate the time for taking out. Good to see you again.
Yeah, absolutely. Best of luck with everything. And yeah, as I said, my contact details are there. I know it's been recorded, but either myself or John are ready to help at any point. I know you have other things to get on with, but thanks for your time today. And hopefully we'll see you all at some shows in the future.
Awesome.
Good.
Thank you so much, Dermot.
Take care,
Dermot,
everybody.
thanks so much, Dermot. Take care, buddy.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers, bye.